Hey, what's up, Raz? Got to figure out what to do with the Harley base. I was thinking a bronze kind of metalish look. Dark. I don't know, would go good with the Ghost in the Shell type character. Hopefully it's nothing serious. Yeah, it's kind of been a drama week. Seems like everyone's going through something. I don't know if that's gonna work. Hey Henry, things are going well. Better than before. Hopefully things are good on your end. That's not going to work either. I gotta move Lola. She had some drops of paint on her the other day. Hey Customizer, thanks man, appreciate it. Yeah, I'm happy I'm getting back to work finally too. A lot of catching up to do, but at least I'm starting to move through stuff. Trying to think of what to do for Lola's edge here. Thinking more like a marble or something, or nothing too crazy. Hey, what's up, Helder? How's it going? How's the lighting? Let me see. I had to change it for. It looks a little bit better. I don't know about you guys, but today it's like 72 out. It's absolutely amazing. Got the windows open, nice and cool. I don't know what the hell's going on. We had like that little weird heat wave, and all of a sudden now it's like spring again. No drive to do statues? Is it just that that was the only character you really wanted to do, or you just like done with the hobby? Or was it, or do you just need a break from everything because you set your goals too high with it? Yeah, it was like 98 here for like a week straight, and then all of a sudden, this morning I woke up, it's like 72 out. The only thing I ever had done was I worked on a couple personal items, and they're still sitting on my shelf, and I look at them now. I'm like, I don't know why I ever chose to work on that item. Something I just didn't really want to do. That's like personal stuff. Hey, what's up, Terrell? Sounds like you just got burnt out from one project. You know, take a break for a while. One of the old things in art school, what a professor told me, he was one of the best elective professors I ever had. He says if you ever get burnt out, or you're working on an item and it's not going right, the best thing to do is cover it up and walk away for a couple days. Like, even if you're working on other projects, cover that project up and don't look at it. And then if you come back like a week or two later, you'll have a fresh mind. So you sound like you just maybe need a month off, you know? Maybe just like cover up Clayface for a little while. Don't look at him. You know, go do some other things for a month or so. Maybe take a vacation day, hit the beach or something. I don't know, whatever you like to do. And then after that, come back and start a simpler project, and maybe you'll get the energy back. There is plenty of projects I've worked on where it's like I got burnt out from it, or it's something I worked on for myself and I needed just to kind of step back from it. I mean, if you still want to work on projects, I think you just need to clear your head. That's what I would do. Also, I guess I would focus on the Grail stuff first. The stuff that really you really want to work on. You know, a lot of those smaller projects you might end up skipping down the line anyway. Like I said, I got a couple projects here that I started working on, and I was like, I don't know why the hell I ever really did that one, you know? It was because it was just like, oh yeah, I'll get to it. I never got to it, so. So I built the little crappy turntable this past week because the other ones I had, those plastic ones, were crushing on me. So I made myself a nice little cheap one. Just got some wood, cut circles, and got a nice whatchamacallit, pulley thing from Home Depot. So life's a little bit easier now. I got the cheap wood. I'm afraid it might break down the line, but I can always make it better later down the line. Alright, so, I'm thinking like, she's got a white outfit, so maybe like a dark marble or something. Yeah, just take a break, man. Just, if you're not doing it because you have to, or it's not like a job for me, I mean, and you just need a break for a while, just take a break. That's all. You know, you'll take a break for a couple weeks, and all of a sudden you'll get that energy to get back in there and start working on it again, or you might not want to ever do it anymore. Who knows? Yeah, the bottom of the bottles would look like this. This is just an example. Like all the clears would separate, and it would turn into a gel at the bottom of the bottle, and it would have all this liquid up top. And then no matter how much you tried to mix up that gel at the bottom, it was just like pure like paste. So that means the bottle would go bad. But this isn't bad. This is just I do have 2 or 3 bottles left of like the transparency flesh, and the bottom of the bottle cakes up because you can see it's like sort of split here. The bottle's not bad because sometimes what you got to do is sort of like crush the bottom a little bit, and then you kind of mix it up with the marble in there, and it'll get mixed up. So a lot of the skin tones sort of kind of caked up to like a, almost like a chalk at the bottom, but once you crack it up, it goes back together. But the transparencies would glue at the bottom, and then after that, they're done. And some of the colors, like the browns, would actually turn into like a turd inside. It would actually look like a turd. So if you would open this up and you take off the pot and you squeeze it, it looks like it's taking a poo. And those are like the browns would turn into those kind of colors. The skin tones, I never really had that much of an issue. They've all never really went bad. It was the transparencies and like the browns would go bad on me. I do have some like, you know, some like virgin flesh. So you can see the bottom, it's kind of like caked at the bottom, but once you break it up, it kind of comes back to life. I don't have any more of the transparencies, I don't think. I think they all went bad on me. No, that's not one. Let me see if I have any others. I have a couple left. I haven't really used them. Alright, here's an example. Alright, so see this true red? I don't know if you can see it well. See how the true red at the bottom is a gel and it's separated? See how I don't know if you can see the marble? It's sort of stuck in there and it popped out. But no matter how much you mix it, that gel at the bottom it's like all pure, like caked up. So this true red is like, all this pigment in here is just dead. And no matter how much you mix it up, even if you take like, we'll do an example, I'll show it to you now. Well, I don't know if it's wax or what. I think it's, it feels like a chalk when you break it up with this piece, you know, like, so if your flesh tone is kind of there and it doesn't like break up, even Jesse said you sort of break it like this, and then you break it up, and it'll start mixing pretty well. But the transparencies, if we open this up, like I haven't used this bottle in forever. Let me find so if we try to take our tool, like just any kind of tool, and you kind of put it at the bottom, like it's just like a glob of glue, and no matter how much you try to mix this, it doesn't mix out anymore. It's like dead. So I have to throw this away. So you can see how it's like a glue paste. It doesn't even want to like break up. I've tried to break this stuff up for like an hour, just sitting there trying to mix this back up and get that color back, and it's shot. And see how it's just all globby? It's dead. So I'm just gonna throw this away now. But this was stuck over in the corner of my reds. I rarely use this transparency true red anyway. Yeah, so like I'm basically just down to a couple of the skin tones left. I think a lot of the other ones I have are pretty much gone. I mean, there is I have another true red. I've never even opened up this one, and you can see the bottom is pretty much a glob. But it might still kind of, see it, even when you turn it upside down, it's just like, you can see it's sort of like stuck there. So, yeah. I mean, I could still use this a little bit, but it's not going to be like a potent true red. You know, it's going to be a little bit lighter. So I could sort of still use this. So this one right here, which is a Transparency Mars Red, this is actually not caked up. It's actually still good. So I didn't even realize this was still good. What's up, Iceman? Yeah, so that's kind of like what happened to his colors. In the beginning they didn't do that, but over time, whoever started mixing them up was putting in some kind of, I guess, something, and they just would gel up and cake up. So I don't know. So I'm going to use this surface primer. I'm hanging there. Hopefully you're doing pretty well, Iceman. Sounds like you're getting a lot of stuff done. Yeah, is the nozzle getting sort of clogged up too? If the nozzle sort of gets clogged up, it will do that at times. When you clean a nozzle, you didn't put any, you didn't put like any needles or tacks into it, right? Because if you put any kind of needles or tacks into it, you screw up the whole spray system, and it might cause issues. Maybe it is the heat. I'm not sure. I only have that every once in a blue moon, but out of all the cans I've had, it's not a common thing. So I don't know. And I guess what kind of can is it? Is it the short can or the large can? Is it a primer from this can, or is it this can of primer? Because I don't have a problem with these. You know, because it's these kind of, you know, the other thing too is if you have any old cans laying around, you could pop out this red piece and you can swap it out again with the other one. But I haven't had trouble with the smaller ones, but I don't buy the small ones. Well, those are automotive too. Those duplicate colors are all automotive. That's all I use. But yeah, it could be a different formula because I know the cans of stuff and paints we get here are different in other countries. So it could be duplicate color, but it could be a different type of formula. Raccoon, you seem to be pretty happy. You have a good week? Yeah, then it's probably your country. America doesn't allow certain... it's funny, America will give us the crappiest foods in the world, but be very picky on chemicals and cans of spray paint. But in other countries, they'll be picky with the food, and then the cans might have different stuff. Just happy it's Friday? That's, yeah, okay. I'll allow it. I don't know. I've never heard that before, Iceman. I spray in my, my primer booth and it works wonders. Alright, so this base is a mess, so to cure the mess, we're just gonna do heavy stuff on it. I don't have any white tubes anymore. Do I? Oh. Yeah, just go with what works for you, man. To stand her up, that is a... It depends on how she stands. I think I know the one you're talking about. Let me see here. An example. Let me look online real quick. I think I know the one you're talking about. The page would load. Yeah, I figured this was the one you were talking about. Figured, let me see the other pictures. It's just one picture. Yeah, so that right there is a concern because it's the ankles holding her up. So, for example, this is just a collecting of a dust kit that was on the shelf. I know you're scared about dremeling a hole in her foot. But what I would do, like for this kit here, you know, you don't want to just put a peg underneath the foot because you're kind of scared. What you can do is you can Dremel a hole here and a hole to here and see if you can Dremel at least, you know, up the ankle as far as you can go, right? I know it's a pain in the ass, but, and then if you get a rod, I mean, you don't have to use a square rod, but you can use a thicker rod. So you can grab a rod, right, and you can sort of bend the rod for the foot and then use a, so you can bend the rod in this direction, right, and then you can bend it downwards and then you can have a support system like that. If you're uncomfortable with doing that, you're right, and you feel that you would screw it all up, what you could do is, if you do work with any kind of eaves or clay or something, you can sort of make up a little bit of a base, like maybe she's walking through grass or a little gravel road, and you can sort of put a rod through her heel, but when you put her on the base, you know, she's kind of sunken into the dirt or something or whatever, you know. You could do something like that. That's the only thing I could kind of come up with right now. So, anytime there's small little ankles, to kind of get them to stand, you got to come up with a little bit of an idea, I guess. I don't know. So I don't know if you use eaves for anything or whatever. Do something like that. Or if you want to go a step further and you want to try something new, you could get some of that epoxy off of Smooth On, the clear epoxy. Because if you mix enough, you could sort of have a little base, but make it look like she's walking through a puddle, and you can kind of put her in there and then sort of like lock her into it with a little bit of water coming up the feet. I don't know. It's kind of an idea. Yeah, that's the only problem. Like a lot of those anime kits, they're the ankles are very tough. Let me look at the picture again. What we'll call it. Does she have? So on the picture I'm looking at, they don't show. Oh wait, here we go. Now I found it. All right. You could get away with yeah, you could. I'm looking at the picture now, Raccoon, where it's showing the back of her heel with the skulls. There's enough room to Dremel up the ankles to support her. Because she's like more tippy toe. It's not really at the heel. And looking at the way she's cut in pieces, yeah, you could Dremel up the at least to the ankle if you had to. But you can make up your own base. You know, you can make it look like she's walking through tall glass or something. Something like that. Yeah, blonde would look good. I never finished up the other one. She's kind of still collecting dust. But she's more of a backup item if, you know, kind of don't have anything to work on. Yeah, those would work. They might make more of her. Who knows? The other thing you could do is you could put her into a scene of a room, and maybe throw like stuff around the feet to lock her into place. Like I don't know if you could find like little mini cassette tapes, like she's playing music in the room, or clothes. I don't know if you're gonna go with like a older's 80 theme, maybe some stuff on the floor around her feet. Yeah, you can do that too. Like I said, you can find a way to lock her in there, and then when you find a way to lock her in there that's supported, even if you accidentally tremble a little bit of the back of the heel away or a little bit of the side of the foot, then you can worry about covering it with something afterwards, you know? Um, and then you could build like a little, get a little bit of a round base or something, or have it printed out, and then, or a wooden base, and then you build stuff around it. Like you said, she could be standing next to a little bale of hay, and the little hay is kind of like broken and going over her foot, and then you could have like a boombox on top of the hay or something, you know? I don't know. Trying to think of like anything 80s you could kind of toy with in it. Or what you could do too is you can put like maybe 2 bales of hay on top of it, a boombox, and you can have your red cup like they have, at parties. Get yourself a little mini red cup. I like the ones I got in my kitchen I use all the time. Little drinking red cup. Or find a little bottle of Mad Dog. Cause I'm more 90s. I don't know, you can just kind of play with it. Yeah, find a little bottle of Zima, that'll work too. That's the goal when you build with kits. You don't have to do exactly what the picture shows. You can always do your own take and make it work so it doesn't fall over, you know? Hey, what's up, Rukin? I'm sure if you go on Etsy, I bet you could find some mini bottles or little things you could kind of come up with some ideas too that are probably in scale. Yeah, I enjoy doing the little extras on the base, telling a little bit of a story without, going crazy. So I think you could have fun with the kit, Just screw around and come up with some ideas. Oh, my Leeson, yeah, I just made this. It's gonna get messy down the line, but I got tired of those plastic ones getting crushed all the time. So I went to Home Depot, I got some wood, I made circles, and I got one of those Lazy Susan parts for it. Yeah, see, so basically it's the piece, little square piece in the center you get at the Home Depot. And then I set it up where I can just drill a hole and screw the piece in. And I put these little rubber pieces. Yeah, I needed something better because those plastic ones, I got tired of them just being crushed on all this stuff. I got the cheap wood, so I have a funny feeling this cheap wood might like crush over time. But I didn't feel like spending too much money on like oak or anything. I'm gonna ask my friend if he's got any extra small pieces like of oak or maple sitting around at his house. I can make another one. I made a big one for my airbrush booth as well. After working on that Sabertooth kit and putting it on that big Lazy Susan and the plastic just completely crushing, I said, alright, I'm done with these plastic ones. I crushed both my large cheap plastic ones with that Sabertooth. And the only reason why I stained it and stuff is I figured I'd give it a nice smooth coat for now. So this way when I get paint on it, it won't like get all too caked up in the wood and warp it with all the liquid. So that's kind of what I did this past week along with some molding and casting. Meh, stupid little side thing while I was in the garage working. So far I'm enjoying it. It only cost me, I think that piece was like $5. The wood was like 15 and a couple screws. Supposedly these the metal part holds up to 70 pounds. Alright, we'll put this aside and let this dry a bit. Now for Harley's base, I didn't want to just do black. I was thinking of doing black with that bronze metallic, because I think if we do metal, the fight with her mallet, it won't stand out. So what do you guys think? Like a darker bronze look to it with the sponge work? Because the base is not perfect, because I couldn't make this perfect when I added all these parts to it and I tried to do this. So I figured maybe like scratch it up with some of the bronze work and black paint and kind of go that route with it. Because I don't want it to be a clean base. Because if I try to make it clean, you'll see all the imperfections. And sadly, I don't have like a lathe where I can put this on there and like make a perfect, you know, sand it all perfect. So I was just thinking, you know, black paint and, you know, use this Warlock bronze. You know, kind of like a patina, I guess. Is that what you would call it? Yeah, sort of like a vintage bronze or something like that. I'm thinking only because if it was a cleaner base, I would say pure black would work good, but then the black you might lose the 1 foot on it. You know, her black foot might kind of blend into the base. So I'm thinking more just this bronze, and instead of like wasting the paint. If there's any in here left. Not much left in here. It's the only downside with trying to make these bases myself. It's hard to get them perfectly round and not imperfect. It's a pain in the ass. This is kind of the, if you guys ever have like a base and you can't get the imperfections out, sort of doing sponge work and stuff sort of is the cheaper way of kind of making it look good but hide those imperfections. And I put this on thick, so it's going to add a little texture, so I think that'll be fine. Yeah, it's got a little bit of paint in there. Still can't get rid of it. Until what'll happen too is I probably won't use it for a while and it'll just dry up. But there's still enough in there for something, for like a belt buckle or something like that. Some of the base is showing through, which is actually not the base color, which isn't bad. I don't know. Do you think we should maybe do some dry brush silver on the edges? Yeah, I just used the Vallejo primer for the sides of the other base I was just working on. It's not a bad primer, it's a good primer. It's but it's very tacky though. It's surface primer. It's the guy at the hobby store is like, oh, this is the same as the black paint. You're gonna be fine, blah blah blah. But it's actually not. It's a little bit lighter, and it's like tackier. So, hey, what's up, Dana? How's everything? Maybe we should do like a sort of a metallic marble effect, maybe. Or we've got some other colors here. I don't know if that stuff sands well. Yeah, Rukin, the base isn't perfect. There's a couple dents and stuff, but I figured that'll look okay, you know, for Harley. You know. So this is Turbo Dork. And this is ground is lava, so it goes to sort of a reddish to a copper. So I'm thinking maybe add a little bit of this onto it as well. See what it looks like. Worst case scenario, I'll just go over it again. No, this is alright, so this is a base from, I think, the Harley, but it was on the other side of her base that I chopped off. But this piece here was glued on top of it, and then I put Aves around with my finger to sort of kind of create the little bend. But the problem with doing this is it never comes out perfect because I'm doing this from, you know, just winging it. In theory, what I should have is like a lathe and put the base on the lathe, glue the piece of resin there, and then sort of like chop it up and have a better, you know, make it cleaner, but I don't have one. So this is what I came up with. So... No, that's it, Rukin. That's you know, it's good to be honest. Honesty hurts, but you know, it's how you get better. You just tell him what you see, and then he's just got to take it from there, whether he thinks you're crazy or if he wants to work on it. Alright, now this stuff is not coming out. Oh, that's probably why. It's all like caked up. I think it needs some water. Oh, this bottle is all. Look at this. It's all. It looks like it's turned into what Garage Kit Colors turned into. So that's it's all gummed up and wonky. It's a good thing I took what's her name off the shelf. Yeah, so that's what happened with a lot of the Garage Kit Colors. They sort of turn into like a weird glop. See? So you can still utilize this, but going through an airbrush doesn't seem like it's going to work. It's actually better to do what I'm doing with it now. I don't know if it's just that the paint's older. I haven't really used these turbo dorks that much, but it's got kind of a cool little effect to it. So I'll kind of just play with it on the base. Does have that little tint to it where kind of as you turn it you get a different color. Have I done lava effect? I've done lava effect on a lot of bases. There's plenty of them where I look at the pyro. Well, I've done it where it's like cracked bases with lava effect. So the old Captain Marvel bases I did for Bone Designs. Look at the pyro video where I did it with the extra bust for the extra head base. Yeah, there's a couple I've done. I'm trying to think. The new Superman suit? Yeah, I saw it. I actually like it. And I know everybody's crying about it, but everybody cried about the Cavill suit before, we even saw it in action. Same thing with the Supergirl suit. So I'm pretty sure, like in post production, they'll kind of tweak it and do something with it. So I'm not too worried about it. Yeah, they showed the new Superman outfit for DC's movie with what's the director's name? James Gunn. And they showed pictures of the Superman suit, and they also showed pictures of what's his name, Mr. Terrific suit. I think they're gonna change it up in production. It's more based off Alex Ross outfit. So I think when they put it in post production, they're gonna have it tweaked a bit where it's not as loose. So we'll see. What I'm creating on the base is just a texture. This is for the Harley Quinn. So I didn't want to do black because she has the black boots. And I didn't want to do metal because she's got the metal mallet. So I'm just kind of toying with the idea of doing like the bronze with this look. So it's kind of more of a like patina slash marble slash like just funky looking base, I guess. I don't know. I think it looks cool so far. Kind of changes in different angles. Now, try not to throw too much black into it because it'll fight with the boots. Especially her left foot would be over here somewhere. And then her right foot is the red here. So I think it's kind of a cool looking base. I think it'll work. It hides a lot of the imperfections that I did on it too. So once it's dried, if you really want to make it look cool, what I'll do is I can hit it with the Duplicolor clear coat and give it a coating, let it dry, do a light sanding on it, do another clear coat coating, let it dry, do a light sanding, and then like a third coat, and it should look like a really nice glossy metal kind of base, I guess. At least I'll try. Because I don't have the proper chemicals and airbrush set up to do like good car clear coating, so I'll just use this stuff, which is that. And I think it'll kind of give it a nice, good looking, base. White stars on this for Harley? Are you smoking some serious crack there? Oh, I see what you're saying. No, I don't. That's not gonna work for her. That's more of a cosmic character. This is just Harley in Ghost in the Shell. So I don't want to make the base stand out too much. I think this looks pretty good. I mean, just as is, Simple, kind of hides a lot of the imperfections. It's got a kind of a cool look. Yeah, this is the Harley base. AK makes a 1K. Yeah, the only reason I want to use this stuff though is because this goes on really really good, and it also gives it a nice good candy shell like a car. But this is out of a can. I mean, if you really want a good like candy coat, you would want to get like something in it. You would like get like an airbrush heated booth and get like a really good mixture of like high-end car gloss paint. But this is kind of the cheaper way of doing stuff. See, this paint's got to cure, and I got to let this really cure up for like a day or so before I even attempt it. I don't want to try to do my gloss coat on this now because the underneath will be too, not cured. So I'll let this cure up for a couple days, and then what I'll do is like one morning I'll wake up and I'll give it a gloss coat, like a nice gloss coat, nothing heavy because you don't want to do your first heavy coat too heavy. So you want to let that sort of sit. And I think it says on here you have to let it cure for 24 to 48 hours before you do your second coat. Like the damn, it's gotten so goddamn small on the can now you can't even see it anymore. Even with my glasses. Yeah, but you're supposed to do like, I think it's like 2 to 3 light coats. Allow 10 minutes between coats and 10 to 12 to secure, something like that. But it says after 48 hours you can do a polishing compound type thing. What I normally do is like when I used to be able to read these damn things before they got too small, is I'll do one coat, let it sit for like 24 hours or so, sand it down a bit with like a light sandpaper, with like wet sanding, and then I'll let that dry and I'll do another coat, let it sit for like 24, 48 hours, another very light sanding, and then after that do the final coat, and it should sort of clean it up. Yeah, the only problem with the airbrush though is the one thick airbrush I have, I don't want to put any crazy chemicals in that, and this does such better coating through my airbrush booth than the airbrush. Like sitting there with an airbrush kind of coating it with the smaller ones you get a lot of overspray coming here, you know. So I don't want to, like, with an airbrush, unless I'm using the really heavy one and I'm spraying it thick, this is the same thing, you know. That's just how I've experienced it. Because you could do a really nice, good airbrush thick coat here, but that overspray, even with an airbrush, it kind of gets too cloudy over here. So... Alright, at least the good thing about acrylics is you get most of it off with just water. So I'll probably do the same thing now with Lola's base on the side. Let it cure up a bit and then hit it with the clear coat. So I'll probably do these both at the same time. What did you do, Dana? You built a FU? I don't know, is that like, gotta be a little bit more elaborate on that one. Oh, a Formula One car. Oh, okay. Alright, I got you. I thought you were just trying to curse at me without getting in trouble with YouTube. That's alright. I got enough friends and family that would do it to me, so I'm used to it by now. we're gonna paint the basketball. That should stay. So now the Formula F1 car, was it just a model kit? Was it one of those like gas engine model things you race? Or did you build like one in your garage and you're gonna go and like enter the Daytona or something, not invited, and just drive out into the field? Are we gonna see on YouTube as one of those crazy people? Like the farmer that built the rocket in his farm to go in outer space. We're gonna see you on the news with your Formula F1 going down like I-95. Oh, you never heard of the farmer that built a rocket that he could get in himself to go into outer space? Yeah, I think the government tried to shut him down or something, if I remember correctly. It was kind of a... It happened a while ago. I'm pretty sure he built a rocket in his out in the farm. Yeah, that's what I always used to tell my father. I said, we got to get you, because he was a motorcycle guy. He always loved motorcycles. I said, we got to get you a lawnmower and put a V8 engine in it, and it'll cut the lawn in 2 seconds. Yeah, is that what he did? He used old parts? Yes, like I said, I vaguely remember the story. I know he built a rocket, and he was planning on going into outer space with it. I don't know if he did actually or not. If I don't remember, I think the government went and shut him down. You know, if I remember correctly, I don't think he actually went up, but you know, the government can't let you go in outer space and see what's going on out there. So that's probably why. Yeah, I probably should look into that again. Glow-in-the-dark paints, no, I never use them. I know a couple people use them, but I've never have. Didn't Angelina Jolie like have like 10 different husbands or something? I don't know. I don't pay attention much to the gossip stuff. So I'm going to manhandle this a bit to do the line. So if it starts to get messed up, maybe I can make it look like it's worn a bit. So I think that's what I'll do. What is hunter killer? Yeah, I'm sort of lost on that, Dana. I don't know much about any of that. Hey, what's up, Wells? Masking day? What are you masking? Oh. Oh, no, I didn't, it's interesting, Raccoon. Is it a new movie or an old movie? Erotic female? Anything, special? Well, that's good, Rukin. No, I didn't watch The Boys at all. I've been just... I just don't have time. I've been grinding out statue work so much that by the time I'm done at night, I'm just so drained. Um, trying to get that saber tooth done. I'm working on a couple other items, the Rogue. Just, I don't know. I don't think I'm gonna have time to like catch up on shows probably till end of the summer. I just been by the time I'm done at night, it's like 9 o'clock, and plus wearing the headgear at night, I can't even keep my eyes open. I'm kind of pushing myself too much, but I got to get stuff done. So I'll binge it. I think I'll probably, if I could get caught up on everything by the time the winter hits, I can binge some stuff on like a nice cold Sunday and just stay home and binge some stuff. It sucks, but I gotta focus on what I gotta get done for the next few months. Yeah, I kind of did it last year too. Like I kind of binged. I forgot there was like two shows I binged when it was winter, like in December. It's kind of more of a, because I'm kind of, you get kind of in that mindset at least that it's like the holiday season and it's kind of like taking a break from work, and I kind of do that binging then. Now with the weather being warm, I want to take advantage of the warm weather and get all these big projects done, especially this molding and casting I had to do this past week. So I rather put in all the hours and get that stuff done. The other thing too is I'm at this point in my life where I'm not worried about if I miss a show or if I didn't see it right away when it came out. I just don't really care. So Dana, what kind of athletic event? What did you do? Highland Games World Championship. What's that? See, now if you said you were in Beer Fest, that would have been a little bit more exciting to me. I'm sorry. Like an underground beer fest, like the movie. Oh, that's cool though. Yeah, raccoon. I saw an Instagram a video where a guy says, "Back in our day, if we missed a show, you missed a show." You missed a show. Oh, you did? That's cool. You gotta. I'm thinking more of like, you know, some crazy underground stories like the movie. Alright, I want to make this dirty, but how? Maybe just do some pastels on it to make it look a little older. I had those sponges. I still have those. Yeah, got these. Don't have oil wash. I don't have any oil. Um, Trying to think of. Well, I don't know. I had a bag of these weird things. I didn't even realize I had these sponges or cotton things. So I'm thinking maybe try. See, I don't know. We'll try something. If it doesn't work, I don't think I want to use these. No, that's not going to work because they're all glittery. We could try a wash with Badger stuff. This is brown tint. Yeah, I don't have any oil though. That's the problem. I know a lot of the guys use oil stuff a lot. Yeah, Dana, that's an event, all right. That's an event. I'll have to Google it later. You know, my luck, I'll put something on the screen. You know, it's kind of funny you said that. Jesse from Garage Kits says that what he used to do is, you know, the airbrush thing you put your airbrush in and you spray into? He says what he used to do is after he would be working on something, all that chemical that went into that pot, he would use it as like a wash to dip stuff in. And I thought that was absolutely insane, but he says he would do it with his stuff. But personally, I wouldn't. But, you know, I mean, we're all a little bit different. But this is I have the others. You know what? This stuff might work better. Hold on. This is too yellow. I need the other one. Hold on. Let's see, where is it? Oh, that's blue. Where is the skin wash? So this is closer to an oil wash. This is a flesh wash. I use it for skin tones, but it's got a brownish kind of color, so this might work for this. I don't know. Let's kind of see. Yeah, it doesn't really. Let's try putting some of this on. Throw a little bit of water in here. Just gonna see how this. Yeah, it's actually kind of giving a little bit of dirtiness to it. Yeah, it's actually looking like an older basketball in a sense, right? I like it. Might be a little too shiny. I don't know, should we dull it down or leave it shiny? I'm actually, like I said, I'm starting to like these Freak-Flex transparencies more. They're actually not bad. Especially this, there's a brown tint and then there's a maroon color. I just think I need to find something that thins these down a little bit better than the water though. Yeah, it's got some marks on it, which look pretty cool. I just have to get the black line underneath there, but I'll do that later. But we should dull it down. Yeah, I got a matte varnish that'll dull it down. I mean, it'll really dull it down too, so. Where did I put it? Put it up here. Airbrush is getting clogged again. Well, actually, it's probably the clear coat. Probably got a little schmutz in it. So I think that looks good, right? Looks like a good basketball. Barely worn out with a little bit of wash, and looks a little older. You been to Hackensack a lot? Yeah. Yeah, I think this will look good in her arm. So this way, you know, if I scratch it or anything, it looks a little bit older and it's got a little bit of smudge there. That's okay. Yeah, looks older, got a little fuzz stuck here and there and stuff, but yeah, it works. Alright, so the basketball looks good. That's easy. Moving along on them. Alright, I'm gonna grab some drink real quick. What else? Do you need to ask a question, or am I... I haven't done it, but if you watch the sideshow stuff, they do it. Have you watched like the Superman head paint up or the Harley Quinn head paint up and stuff? If you watch their videos, they do that. They do like, I think, a blue wash, a red wash, and a yellow wash. I think they use oils though. I'm not sure. But it's not a heavy wash like out of a tube. They, I think, mix their colors. So you have to watch their video. I know a couple guys in the hobbies do that. They'll wash their characters with like yellow, red, blue, and green. They try to get like a natural skin tone. I don't do that because I don't like the way certain washes work. I like to kind of just paint through the airbrush and kind of get like that comic book feel. But there is guys who love to do washes and they'll do oil washes all day long. You know, they'll do a base coat and then they'll just wash, you know, and just keep adding washes. Some people let the washes sort of like, kind of pool in certain ways where it creates a texture. And other people just like to do a straight wash where it's nice and just kind of clear. You can experiment, but yeah, Sideshow did the Superman head paint up, and I think they did washes on that, and it looked amazing. You know, it comes out really good. And some of those colors do seep in cracks a little bit, very little bit. But they use a very, very light wash though, not a very heavy wash. So, for example, this is this is Flesh Wash from P3. So this is more of like a wash out of the bottle, but it's still kind of heavy. But this right here is not a wash, but it's a transparent ink. But if you were to put this blue ink on a statue, this stuff would bleed into it like you wouldn't believe. So you would have to sort of water it down. So, I don't know. I like washes on like trying to do landscapes. I think washes are great for landscapes because you can let those colors go into like crevices and cracks. But on skin tones, for the way I paint and the way I look at an item, I'm not really a fan of it. Yeah, I don't know. It's something you gotta experiment with and see if you like it, I guess. I guess for example, have you ever gone to I don't know where you live, but they have that Wonderfest in Kentucky, and then they have the Monster Palooza, I think, which is in California. And a lot of those guys do those monster kits, and they use washes, and that stuff comes out more monster skin looking. I don't know. I've never perfected it, so not my cup of tea, I guess. Yeah, the monster stuff and the zombie stuff, it's more, you have more heavier yellows and greens and blues and reds. When I've seen a couple of the people who do like a female, like a superhero, and they use a lot of the washes on something like this, when you start to see all those yellows and greens, I personally think it's too much. Maybe it's just they wash too much on it. I don't know. Yeah, Dana, they use a lot of pinks, which I'm not really a fan of. Oh, if you want to do that skin tone wells, honestly, you want to use more oranges, and you don't want to and purples and blues. I did a video of painting up the storm. I think it was the whatchamacallit, the Savage Land Storm, and I show the colors I used in that. Like I just did that Storm from Sideshow and her face, so I used like with her I did use some skin tone color, for like some highlights. But you do use like oranges, kind of. I'll show you here. So Garage Kits used to make flesh tone African American colors. I have them here. So they made a light, a dark, and this one's an old one. I don't know if this bottle's still good. So these bottles are sort of somewhat still okay. So there's a little bit of green in these colors. So these are like browns, but they're a little bit of has a little bit of a green tint. But then after I mix up those colors, I use like a burnt sienna that I mixed up. This has like yellow, red, and I guess some black mixture from Golden gave me, And then you want to use like, you know, orangey red tints on the skin, and then also blues and purples. Don't use black. Stay away from black. So blues and purples, burnt sienna, oranges, get you that like that makeup commercial skin tone, you know. Yeah, Garage Kits had that transparency. They had the transparency skin tones, which would work great to give you that red and orange hue, but they don't make those anymore. So. Yeah, you know what? I'll see if I can find the video real quick. I'm pretty sure it was the storm one I worked on. If not, I think it was. I don't know. Yeah, I did so many of those storms. I don't know if I did a work in progress. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Yeah, but that's an old video with the Garage Kit paints, but hopefully it gives you an idea. Alright, with her, so today I did seal her up, and I did flat coat her. So I guess I'll work on a little bit of trim, because I didn't really, working on the other stuff today. I completely forgot to do the trim. Well, I had to let her cure, so. So her shoes are white, I think, if I remember correctly. And then she's got white outfit, right? Oh, wait. So it's a blue trim. So it's a blue trim down here on her outfit. It's a blue trim underneath here, I think, on some of them. Yeah, there's different trims all over the place. Oh, some of them actually had a blue trim up on here on the bigger outfit. I didn't remember that. I thought it was white. Well, one picture is white. And other ones don't have the blue trim at the bottom. Okay. Now, I guess her shoes I'm doing my own little take because I don't have any pictures of her shoes. but it's a blue trim on her upper shorts too. Okay, so I can actually, yeah, okay. So let's see. I could work on the trim up top. The gloves I'll do later because they're white gloves. So this is blue. The side over there is blue, and underneath is blue. So I don't really have to do the trim on there. I can just paint this white and then paint that blue after. But the shoes are going to be white. With we could do black Adidas stripes or navy blue. Navy blue would be fine. Alright. That's what I'll do. That's what I'll do. So. Alright, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick, wash my hands, and work on a little bit of the trim. Okay, so the tedious part starts. So I'm just doing a grayish blue paint that I have for here. So this way when I mask it off, I don't have to worry about trying to get in all in here perfect. I use some pastels afterwards, sort of kind of blend it together a bit. I do my cheap bending brush, so if you kind of bend it at the right spot where you don't crush the wood, but you don't bend this part with letting the bristles fall out, you can make yourself a cheap little bended brush. instead of buying it for like a crazy amount of money. This is always a pain in the ass to try to get in these little areas. Now I'm not pushing the brush all the way down into that perfect little, well, it's not a perfect little crevice, it's kind of a little bit messy, because my experience is if you try to push it all the way down in there, it'll start hitting the leg. So what I'll do, like I said, is I'll put some pastel in there with a thin brush and sort of blend them together. Just makes it easier to blend it and paint it, I guess. Try not to hit the headgear on the body and scrape anything either. Okay, let's see. So let's try and trim up her chest a bit. Now normally I do this laying back in my chair and up close, but I'm trying to show you guys. Yeah, her skin tone will pop once we do the white outfit on her. Definitely got that nice tan look to her. Or golden color. Alright, neck part is going to be a bitch. But we'll get it. Alright, so this is where that bent piece is going to come in handy. Just sort of get underneath the best we can. The skin. This is why factories don't do it like this, because it takes them forever to get it to the point like this, and then to try to paint it would never work. Did I ever make an Evelyn? No. My friend who's a huge He-Man fan always keeps telling me to do one. But there's I think there's 2 kits out there, well, 3D files right now, that look good to me, that you really don't need to make one, but I mean, I could. It's just that I'm very bad with armor. So to try to make the headgear and the armor on her chest, it was very difficult for me. It's, you know what it is like if you're gonna do the armor, like I can make one piece look good, but then to try to match that piece with this one would be difficult, you know? So, but yeah, I forgot the sculptor's name, but a guy did do a nice 3D file of her that you could print out. If the He-Man females weren't so, you know, had all that armor, then I probably would attempt one. But since they have the armor, it's kind of hard to get a nice, good, even coat, I guess you could say. I mean, we're getting there with Lola. Slowly. Getting there. I'll get her finished. Hey, what's up, JC? I can check it out. I've seen a guy sculpt armor and they make it look easy, but it's kind of like my one thing that I have trouble with. Oh, you got your figure in, JC? Hopefully it came out good. You know what? I am going to put the AC on because it's getting to that. It's 5 o'clock, but somehow it got hot. Gosh, the sun's blaring in the window. Take it easy, Dana. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate it. Alright, thought it would have been harder trim, but I guess it's the blue that's going to be a pain. Guess I'll do the gloves. Ah, so the guy probably was one of those guys that bought all those kits and has it all in his closet but never got to them. There's a lot of guys in the hobby like that. Hell, even I was like that at a few times where I was like, alright, gotta sell all this stuff out. Even guys that went to Jersey Fest would get a table and sell their collection because they're like, I'm never gonna get to this item, so they sell it all. Look, and now you got Raz all interested. Raz is gonna work overtime to get a couple rare kits. Yeah, it happens to a lot of the guys in the hobby. You always get these kits you really want in the worst way, then you just realize you just don't have the time to put them together. And then you see a seller once in a blue moon have a purge. I did that a while back. I did that with all my parts a while back. I was like, alright, these have got to go. So don't know. It's hard for me to say. I gotta look at the kit. I mean, if the kit looks like absolute trash and there's bubbles and there's like seams all over and you know it's either just wasn't really well made or it's just a crappy kit, you know, I don't know. Not all kits come with instructions, so I can't really say that just because it doesn't have instructions it's bad. You know, Japanese kits, some have instructions, and I bought kits in the past that has no instructions, so um, 1/8, yeah, that's I think like 1/7, 1/8 is kind of the typical Japanese scale. At least it used to be. I think now they're getting into the 1/4 stuff more. Gotta wipe this down. Just grab the wrong brush. What's going on here? No, sorry. Once again. when I paint her hair, we'll paint the tail the same color, or should we do the tail a different color? I was kind of thinking about that the other day, what we should do. What? This is too blue? Yeah, this is just a trim. Just so it's a darker in there. I'll probably be using this blue, which is lighter. But I figure I always do darker color for the trim than the actual color itself. So like I'm gonna do the dark blue underneath in here. Oh, her hair. Oh. So you think we should just do like the tail sort of like a fur bunny instead of the same as the hair? Yeah, see, you can't confuse me. You gotta... I'm on a delay, so when I ask you something, it hits you guys a little bit later. Alright, I was just wondering if we should do as the same as the hair. I wasn't... But yeah, we could do that. Make it more like the anime colors, I guess. Hey Jacob, just working on the girls again, trying to get them closer to get finished so we can get them up for sale and start working on Jessica Rabbits. But we're getting there slowly. Have I ever mixed mine from scratch? No. Well, I mean, in art school, yes. For statues, no. Because buying those P3 formula skin tones are like perfect out of the bottle. So I don't see a reason to sit there and try to mix my own from scratch. I guess you can say the only skin tones I'd mix from scratch would probably be like monster stuff, because then you could do like a white base and you can do washes or modding or texture and come up with a weird skin tone for like a monster or zombie. But for a lot of my superhero stuff, just out of the bottle. But then, you know, I change the variations, whether it's a lighter skin, a virgin skin, a darker skin. Like this character is a little bit more tan, so she's got a little bit more of a golden color, you know. But I mean, if you want to be a purist and you're like, oh, I mix my skin tones from scratch, blah blah blah, you can. But honestly, you know, these companies make such great skin tones now. Right out of the bottle, you're set to go. If Garage Kits didn't go out of business, I'd still be using their skins. Theirs was amazing. I love the way they blended. I like the way they went on. I love this, you know, the transparencies. But this Formula P3 stuff I'm working with is still good. I haven't really had a problem with it. It just doesn't melt together like the Garage Kits did with the transparencies. So it's just I got to get used to it a little bit more. Did I nick her leg, or did I got paint on it? Yep. It's the only downside with all the skin tone. But it's a good thing I still have all her skin tone in bottles. But I did coat her, so... So, alright, for example, I got a little nick of blue paint on her leg. So I had that, I did the car gloss coat, and then I did a flat top coat with the mecha varnish. So I was able to get a lot of that blue off, but not all of it. But see, if you get enough of the blue off, you could go on with your skin tone color and match it and touch it up. Because if you leave that blue mark on there, and then try to blend it out, it's harder than trying to wipe it off. So I didn't scrape the paint, I just kind of used some saliva, and I just kind of wiped it down, and I got most of that blue off. So now I'll just go over and touch it up real quick. Like I said, it's hard to trim on camera to show you guys, and also not make a mistake. That's why I save commissions for off camera. Trying to do commissions on camera is tough. Gotta focus. But we do have some of her skin tone left. So we can sort of blend this out. blow dryer without ripping my airbrush down. And then I did a little bit of that light transparency color mixed with this. Blend this back out again. There we go, and we touched it up. And if the airbrush isn't clogged too much, which it kind of is, so I gotta clean it. I gotta do a nice cleaning session on these airbrushes. But flat top coated again. And that's how you sort of correct a little mistake. Alright, I'm gonna leave her here because I don't want to screw this up anymore, so we're gonna save her for next time to start doing the outfit. But I think I'm gonna try to do is, if I can, I might just sort of sand down a little bit of these areas, just kind of clean this up a little bit. So I might put some silly putty on her real quick and do some sanding just to kind of, it's not rough, but it's a little bit rough up here. I just want to kind of clean it up and around there. And then we could work on the white and everything next week. Probably do some blue trim, work on the shoes, and then after that, the hair will be at the end. So I don't want to press my luck. I got a feeling I'm gonna screw up some more shit on it. I don't want to do that. I don't know if you guys ever get that feeling where you're like, okay, if I keep working on this, I'm gonna screw it up, and just gotta walk away. That's what I'm gonna do. Alright, so any of you who are late to this show, Harley's base and Lola's base, I did this up earlier. Alright, so with these two, I'm going to let these cure up. I'm going to pull off this silly putty now because I don't want this sitting on the wood for like a couple days. I'll come back and remask it again when I'm ready to paint it up. I don't think silly putty will mess with wood, but I don't want it sitting too long, especially going into crevices and stuff. I can already tell some of the silly putties can sink into this, so you gotta be careful. Alright, so what I'm going to do is let this cure up for the weekend, and then Monday, first thing in the morning, go into the garage, mask this off again, of course, and start clear coating these, and then sand it down, clear coat it again, sand it down, and get a nice glossiness on this and this. And hopefully by the stream will be sort of there. And then for once this is done, if I have this ready by next week, we'll put bugs in here. We'll mix up A's with brown paint, and we'll start putting in here to make it look like dirt, and dirt coming around the edges, and it'll look a little bit better. Yeah, I get those days too. Like if I wake up in the morning and I start working on something, and say like the piece I'm working on, the sculpt's not working right, or I made like 5 mistakes on painting, or I'm starting to get frustrated, I'll just like stop what I'm doing for like a couple hours, or won't even work for the rest of the day, because I know I'm going to just screw everything up. So, and then I figure, okay, I'm just going to go out, cut the lawn, or I'll work on the house, do clothes or something like that, just to kind of not screw everything up. But, so Bugs is looking good. But like once we add all this dirt, you know, dirt coming around the edges, some dirt falling in here, some little dirt around there, dirt all over here, it'll look a lot better like there was dirt underneath the area. Now, I have a bag of rocks, I think, still. So maybe what I'll do is I'll grab a couple of those rocks, and maybe we'll put some rocks around too, sort of like rocks kind of. I think I have it in the garage. Let me see. So I got a bag of these rocks. They're small, so what I could do is sort of, once we mix up the A's and we put it there, I can sort of place a couple rocks in certain spots. Not overdo it, but do a couple here and there. So we'll add those in there. But, and then I think what I'll do is, once I add all the dirt around there, we'll get an airbrush and we'll sort of paint this sort of black and let it blend into the rocks a little bit, so it looks like it's a deeper hole. So, and that'll look pretty good. But since we're getting closer, I think what I'll do is on Patreon, maybe Sunday, if I remember, I'll start the poll. Come up with a couple ideas for the Jessicas, so we can start getting those rolling. But what I do want to do, if I have enough, let's see. Will this fit? Okay, yeah, I'll use this for underneath of it. I gotta go buy more of this sticky pad at Hobby Lobby or something. I'm running low. Actually, So what I like to do for my bases, I wish I could, I gotta get a tool that can actually X-Acto blade them in a better circle, but now you could do the cheap way where you just get one of those little circles at Home Depot and put it in 4 spots, but I like to do this better because it sort of sits at the bottom of the bases that I work on a little bit easier. My friend in Canada used to be able to etch these. He used to do like really cool designs. But he moved his job so he can't do it anymore. I'll show you one in a second. X-Acto blades needs to be changed. Should fit under there a little bit better. So what I like to do is take a fresh blade, put it in my good X-Acto for when I do ID cals or this, and then I take my semi-sharp blade, put it in my Aves blades, and then this blade I put in my recycle ones. And then when I'm done, sort of take off that and put it down there. And sort of have a nice round soft base for this. So that's what I usually do. And then I save these for smaller bases. So I'll put this where my other ones are, and when we're done I'll slap it on there. They do have a... I gotta get an adapter. I think they have one where you can put an X-Acto blade on it. Like, supposedly you're supposed to be able to put an X-Acto blade in this one, but it doesn't work. So I have to get the right adapter for the one with the X-Acto so you can actually just turn it around and cut something. So I never did find that adapter. I know they have them. I'll have to find something someday when I'm not lazy. You can email me. Do you have my email? Is this something you want me to post in chat, or is it something you just want me to say? You have my email, right? You can email me. I'm getting ready to close up shop, but I can send the link. I can give you Raz's email if you want to send him stuff too. If you Raz, you want me to. If JC emails me, if he stops screwing around, I'll put your email and reply to him. So you guys could go and buy up all those rare kits when the guy sells them. Oh, okay. Didn't get anything yet. No, same email. I don't know. Maybe whatever you sent me is just taking forever, or I don't know. Maybe it'll come later. I have no clue. Well, if it comes later, I'll let you know. Nothing's popping up now. But yeah, my email hasn't changed. I've had the same email since Apple started their iCloud emails. Same thing. Yeah, maybe it's just taking forever to get to me. But I'll hit you up when I get it. It'll probably come later. But I'm ready to call it a night. I'm tired. Got to get up tomorrow and get my oil changed in the car early. So, but I think we're pretty much getting there. I'm going to start up the Jessica Rabbits on Sunday. We'll start getting those voted, and go from there. But yeah, if I get the email, I'll let you know. But I'm calling it a night. And if I get the email, I'll hit you and all that stuff. But, alright, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. But we're getting closer. We'll get them done. And we'll see you next week.